I recently helped with the Bull Creek Park cleanup. It was 3 hours long from 9 in the morning to noon, and there were about 30 to 40 of us who went. We had 3 to 4 leaders who were really, really nice gentlemen that volunteered for the park very often and knew the park really well. They had been volunteering for years, so they knew it like the back of their hand, and they knew how the ecosystem of the park worked and what things were bad for the park and what things were good for the park. So they taught us a lot about the invasive species that were trying to take over the park. The main one we focused on was an invasive plant called ligustrum. And so what we did was we spread out, we got into groups and we spread out through the park, not through like the main part where a lot of people hang out, but in the more foresty part with where there's a few hiking trails. And in our groups, we were given tools called weed wrenches, and then little like not saws, but I guess little saws, and then some clippers. And we were taught to use the weed wrenches. I learned it for the first time. It was completely new to me. And you just like tighten it around the root, tighten it around the base of the plant, and you pull it up, including all the roots. And then you just toss it to the side so it can't grow back. And so we pulled out a lot of ligustrum, and it was kind of hard at first because they taught us to recognize the ligustrum by the leaves, although all the leaves started to look the same. So we had to be very careful to make sure it was a ligustrum by its leaves, and then once we were sure it was a ligustrum, we would pull it out. And so we all spread out. We went to a really cool area down by the water, and we got a partner. So I partnered up with my friend Kylie, and together one of us would like use the weed wrench to pull up the plant, and then the other person would use the clippers to cut all the branches off and then just toss it to the side, kind of out of the way. And so we did that for a good 3 hours. We pulled up a lot of plants. It was really fun. It was a really, really gorgeous day, so it was nice to be out there. We definitely had to do a lot of teamwork. It was a 2-person process, especially on the bigger ones too. Sometimes she would help me. And then if other people in the group found an area with a lot of ligustrum, we would all go over and all work together to clear that area out. It was definitely the first time that I had pulled out, I mean, I'd pulled some weeds like in our backyard, but I'd never, pulled out big plants like that. So that was new. Learning how to use a weed wrench was new. But I really liked it, and I learned a lot about the park too. So that was really interesting. And overall, it was a really good experience.